Call this April 20th, 2017, 3:30 meeting to order. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Dominic, Johnson, Jackson, Lynn, Bowman, Cawthorn, Gates Watts, Middleton, Atkins, Chavez,
Here, sir.
Smith, Johnson.
Present.
We have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. I'd like to extend the invitation for Bishop L. Lawrence Brandon to come up. If you would, please silence your phones and silence or vibrate your phones. But if you would, please join us, and Bishop L. Lawrence Brandon will lead us in our invocation.
Thank you so much, Commissioner, and I appreciate you, Mr. President, and to the Commission. And do know every Tuesday we are praying for you. So do know we call you by name in prayer. So thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. Pope Francis said something. He said, unity does not imply uniformity. It does not necessarily mean doing everything together or thinking in the same way, nor does it signify a loss of identity. Unity in diversity is actually the opposite. It involves the joyful recognition and acceptance of the various gifts which the Holy Spirit gives to each one, and the placing of these gifts at the service of all members of the church. It means knowing how to listen, to accept differences, and having the freedom to think differently and express oneself with complete respect towards the other, who is my brother or sister. Do not be afraid of differences. The Bishop of Rome, Pope Francis. Let's look to the Lord. Father, you are a mighty God. Great and mighty are you. You said if we acknowledge you in all of our ways, you would direct our paths. Bless the president of the commission, bless the commissioners as they conduct the business that will impact the citizens of Caddo Parish. And God, use them for your glory. God, I thank you for this day. We praise you, God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. If you would, please turn and face the flag and join with me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bishop, I appreciate you for coming down. Sunday morning, what time? What radio? 102.1.
102.1, 8 a.m. on KDKS.
And
I am my faith.
I am my faith. And Praise Temple.
And then at 10 p.m. KT speaks wisdom. That's it.
And services.
Oh, services 9 a.m. Thank you. 9 a.m. every Sunday morning, 11:15 a.m. and Sunday evening at 7 p.m.
We appreciate you for all you do. I caught him walking out the door headed to Dallas.
I like the 7 o'clock.
He turned around and came back to pray with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you for the invitation.
And thank you for all that you do in the community.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Have a safe trip.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And if anybody else has, for future references, if there's clergy, please point them out so we can invite them to do that. Where are we? Are there any agenda additions, Mr. Clerk?
Yes, sir. I believe there's one.
Okay. Commissioner Dominic, I'm
So
sorry.
I'd like to request that we expand the agenda to include a resolution regarding an emergency resolution to relocate the polling places, precinct 142 and 56, if I can expand. And have
Okay,
it
that was moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Lynn. I thought I heard you say that first, Commissioner Lynn, for expanding the polling places. I believe you got a copy of the resolution in front of you. Please vote.
Before we vote, we need to open up
Oh,
public
yeah,
hearing for
I'm
anyone
sorry.
to speak
I'm sorry.
for or against
There-
the expansion of the agenda.
And I don't think, is the mic elevated today?
Yeah.
Amplified today? Okay, I'm sorry, because I just,
We
somebody said.
can
they
bring
couldn't
it
hear
up
me.
some more if you'd like.
Yeah, do that for me, because I don't hear it today. I heard it last week. Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of expanding the agenda? Is there anyone here to speak in favor of adding this item to our agenda? Is there anyone here to speak in favor of adding this item to our agenda? Seeing none, this public hearing is closed.
At this time, we'll vote on that.
Please vote on expanding the agenda.
So we need 100% to expand?
Yes.
You gotta have 100%.
Now you're better vote.
Oh, no, it's just 100%, whoever is voting. It's fine. We can close.
If you want to do that.
Or we're waiting on a vote.
Had to get my shadow.
All right, that passes unanimously, 11-0.
That will move to be resolution number 38 under resolutions today.
Appreciate it. All right, next, we have citizens' comments. Citizens who wish to address the commission on any issue other than zoning, please fill out a comment card located in the chamber for you and return to the president or the clerk of the commission. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes. All right. I'll take them in the order that I received. Mr. John Settle, when you come forward, please state your name and address for the record.
John Settle, 33 Tealwood, Shreveport. I want to make 3 quick comments on the UDC. One, I commend the committee's work last Thursday for having 11 of you there, and then Commissioner Middleton on the golf course participating. I thought that was really seriously a work session on Monday, Thursday. I don't think you find any other government officials working as hard as you were to work through some issues, and I commend you on that. I think sometimes people don't realize that you do take time, and you had everybody there. I thought it was very impressive. Secondly, I was disappointed when I went to the council meeting on Tuesday, which was before your meeting, and a question was directed to Mr. Sweeney, Executive Director of the MPC, as to why the commission wasn't ready to adopt the UDC. Unfortunately, Mr. Sweeney said it was just politics in the negative form. I was disappointed in that because it was my understanding all along that the commission was going to wait till the city got their act finally together before y'all were going to look at what they did. And also, I think many of you have already expressed to Mr. Sweeney your concerns that are still out there. And I think it's unfortunate that he took a shot at you at that meeting, and I'll tell the council what y'all have done. And lastly, Mr. Sweeney complained about only having $2,600 to implement the UDC. I don't know how he spent almost $450,000. I don't really need to know. I know he spent over $83,000 remodeling his office, etc. But I want to tell you that he does have money in his budget to implement the UDC. Since December 27th, he's had an open position for senior planner. That was Roy Jambor's position. Annual salary, $100,500. By my math, that he has accumulated an unpaid salary, almost $33,500, that he can use for the UDC. And every month, another $83.50 stacking up in his coffers. So if he comes to you asking for additional money to implement the UDC, I hope you'll vote resoundingly no, because you already fund his organization. And in his budget, he has unpaid payroll that could be utilized for those purposes. Keep up the good work. Thanks.
Next, Mrs. Cynthia Keith.
Cynthia Keith, 342 Woodbine Drive, Shreveport, Louisiana. I hope this is the right time to do this. I'm coming to speak in support of the cameras at the Caddo Parish Animal Shelter. Is this the correct time to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Nice seeing you all again.
Nice seeing you.
It's been a while. I came in support of the cameras at the animal shelter. There's one thing I asked my commissioner, Mike Middleton. I said, if you do nothing else for us, please put in cameras at the Caddo Parish Animal Shelter. I know we've got full confidence in Chuck Wilson. He's a great guy. This is a great animal shelter. This could be a better animal shelter. We've got this chance right now to make it a real good animal control, what am I trying to say, with a simple addition of cameras. We're hopefully going to get on the technology train here. There's a lot of good things happening. We've got a dog park about to come up.
Yay.
Thank you for that. And this is another addition that will help. Unfortunately, there are a lot of rumors going around. Some of them we don't know if they're true or not. I don't know if y'all are hearing all of them. We're hearing some horrific rumors out here. And this is a good way to dispel some of those rumors. It's not a means of making your people think, I don't trust you, I've got to get cameras out here. This is a means of, if something does come up, we've got proof to be able to dispel that rumor. I think it would be nothing but a good thing. A lot of these rumors, of course, are always going to be denied. No, that these things aren't happening. And it's not just to watch the employees. Of course, we know some of these employees leave and they do some terrible things, and we hear about it on the news later. This is also a way to watch the animals. It's also a way to watch your volunteers. It's also a way to watch your public audience that's coming through the animal shelter. So again, I just think it's something that will make the animal shelter better. It's us helping to speak for those that cannot speak for themselves. I can't imagine anybody not being for this simple piece of technology that really, really will prove to be a positive thing if it's implemented. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Keith. I have Angela Johnson. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Angela Johnson. Angelor, I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. I apologize for the
No, you
name.
did well, thank you. I just want to say,
Name and address for the
for the record, my name is Angela Johnson, 6340 Crosswind Drive, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71119. I would just like to say thank you to the commission for just giving me this moment, because you have added to your agenda today a proclamation for us to have awareness of sarcoma. This has affected my family very closely. There's a young lady by the name of Raven Facunda who was born here in Shreveport in Caddo Parish. She attended Caddo Parish schools. She attended church at Morning Star Baptist Church, and her family later relocated to the Dallas, Texas, Arlington, Texas area. At the age when she was in college, actually her senior year, Raven was diagnosed with sarcoma, and it's a very rare cancer. There's currently not a cure for it, and so we are in dire need of a cure for all cancers, but in particular for those rare cases. Raven has such a sweet, sweet spirit, and she was just a joy for everyone. And to be around. She died 2 years ago in June at the age of 21. She was a senior in college with one more semester before receiving her bachelor's degree in psychology. She had hoped to go on to be a child psychologist. Her parents, Paulette and Franklin Facunda, who of course were also residents here at one time, started the foundation, which was Raven's dream, and on her behalf started the foundation, which actually raises money for other families and parents of those patients who are dealing with sarcoma in particularly, but really any form of cancer. Raven said that no one should ever have to worry about how they're going to pay for gas money to get to their chemotherapy or to their doctor's visits, or while their parents or family members are traveling back and forth. She wanted them to have meal cards, gift cards to different restaurants, and so that was sort of where her dream was birthed from for the foundation. You can learn more about Raven as well as for the Raven A. Facunda Sunflower of Destiny's Foundation. There's a website, there's also Facebook, and we're on all social medias. But I do want to thank the commission for allowing this proclamation and to bring awareness for the month of July of sarcoma awareness. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Did you want to go ahead?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules and go ahead and adopt the resolution at this time, if I could get a second.
Moved by Commissioner Gage Watts to suspend the agenda. I believe that was second by Commissioner Lyndon Johnson to take up resolution 37 of 2017. Is there any objection to suspension of the rules? There's no objection to suspension of the rules, Mr. Clerk.
I would like to speak.
Go ahead.
I would just like to say that at this time, this is just a resolution, but I will be bringing forward an actual resolution to encourage legislation to go ahead and nationally recognize July as National Sarcoma Awareness Month. So I will ask for your support at that also when that time comes, to get the additional wording and give us enough time to get it out publicly. I want to say thank you personally to Angela for coming today. God is so amazing, because I probably would get really choked up. Raven was very special to me as well. And we're not just church family, but we are family. So we need a cure, and we need the world to know about this horrible disease. So thank you for your support.
Thank you. Commissioner Lyndon Johnson.
Yes, I also want to echo on what Ms. Johnson talked about. There is a Raven Fecunda Sunflowers of Destiny Foundation that people could send donations to try to find a cure for this. There's also a petition that you can go to as well to sign. We need as many signatures as possible on that so that it can try to help move the technology ahead. With more signatures, it gets more attention, and then at that point in time, we can try to find a cure for this particular cancer. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bowman.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to tell you I'm proud of you, and I thank you, and you know I love you, and for bringing awareness to the cause, because you have, well, what you're doing, making this being a champion, and then you sparked everything with Commissioner Gage Watts, and so now here we're now looking at something that's moving from something local to state and now possibly national. And so thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson, for coming down, and hopefully as the month gets here, you get us some more information. So appreciate you. Appreciate it.
I encourage everyone to wear yellow in July to recognize it, and if you would just please, as Commissioner Johnson mentioned, to sign the petition, because that's what's going to get things moving forward. So thank you.
Thank you. If there are no more questions, please vote on the resolution number 37. That passes 11-0. Commissioner Gage Watts makes a motion to go back into our regular
Yes.
agenda.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gage Watts, second by Commissioner Lyndon Johnson, to go back into our regular order of the agenda. All right, we're back on your hands, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we move to visitors. Ms. Lynn Stevens, United Way of Northwest Louisiana.
She's in the back. Do we have to, we don't need a motion or anything to do that? Okay. Lynn, you up?
No,
Okay.
she's on the agenda.
Okay.
I'm just gonna talk real loud, how's that?
All right.
How are y'all?
Good, how are you?
I'm sorry I'm running a little late. Had an emergency crisis come up, you know how that goes in the nonprofit world?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I'm here today, just to really talk real quick about the new Alice report that was recently released, and I actually have a copy, for each of you to kind of reference. A press release that went out, and I'll just start here, Woody, and go back down for me. And with some updated data. Yep, last year, all of the United Ways in the state of Louisiana went together to have this study done by Rutgers University, and it really pointed out a lot to us at United Way. A lot of things we knew, or assumed we knew, and then things we were not aware about, or we knew were probably an issue, but probably what I would tell you is we didn't know the depth of it. And so, the one thing that I like about this report is, you know, in the state of Louisiana, we're always talking about poverty, but what we don't talk about is the people that are living on the edge. And so, what this Alice report is about actually is an acronym. It stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, and Employed, which truly means the working poor. But I don't like to call them the working poor, I like to call them the working hard. Those are the people that are living right on the edge, right on that bubble, that really live paycheck to paycheck. And you know most of them. Most of them live in your districts. Somebody's probably called you at one point or another. But what I really like to look at that, and it gave us a lot of data, is really what it takes to live in our community. And if you look at this, the statistics from one year to the next actually actually got worse for our area. And in Northwest Louisiana, it actually tells us that there are about 115,000 households that are right there living paycheck to paycheck, right on the bubble, one crisis away. Crisis could have been the flood this year, or last year, or the year before, right? It could be the air conditioner that goes out. The mom that works at the casino who has a child that is ill for an extended period of time. There's a lot of different reasons. You and I both know these individuals, and it's people very common today in society. It's child care workers. I mean, it on average takes us a lot to pay our bills anymore. And what the threshold is it's higher than the poverty rate, which really hasn't been updated since they invented the poverty rate. It's a formula that they kind of increase each year. That's $11,000 for a single person. Can you imagine living on $11,000 if you're single? But really, if you look at that, that's not what it takes to live. And so if you look at that Alice threshold, it's about $43,000 in our community to live successfully, to have enough assets put away. We at United Way took this information and really redeveloped and redivided what we were focused on. And we really decided we were going to really target that segment. Yes, we'll still target the people in poverty, but these are the people that we see are probably accessing some of the nonprofit agencies that a lot of us help fund in philanthropy. They're the people that are out there. And so one of the things that we have really done is we expanded, we just finished tax season, but we had 11 volunteer income tax assistance sites where people under the threshold of $54,000 to get their taxes done for free.
That's good.
Think about all the people in your district that earn $54,000 or less. Last year, it was about 2,600 people we helped get their taxes done. I actually went and got certified myself, which is really scary because I don't like math. I got certified and I could do taxes this year.
All right.
Okay? And what I found is the people that sit across from me at the table are paying $300, $400 to get their taxes done. This last weekend, I actually worked at one of the sites, and I was sitting there working with an individual who had went to a named site in town who claimed their husband as a brother so they could get earned income credit. So this year, when I had to help them, they got penalized because they got filed wrong. We want to make sure it's right. We want to make sure those people are good. Affordable housing was a huge issue that was identified. The lack of affordable housing in our community. We need more affordable housing. And I know, have you brought the resolution, there's a housing trust that is working on. I'd love to see that come to fruition. I don't know if it's been passed yet, but we desperately need more affordable housing. Because if you look at that budget for a single family, you wouldn't want to live where that family is staying. The average paying place is about $750. Think about the homes in your district that you can rent for $750,000 or $750 a month. Would you want to live there? But those are the tough choices people make. Some of the other things we've been working on is getting free prescription assistant program. We've got a full prescription assistance program out there. Bank On, if you've heard about the Bank On program, we've expanded that. We have over 1,000 bank accounts open, getting people off the checks list back into banking. Because today, if you're not banked, guess what? You're probably not getting paid. Everybody gets paid by direct deposit pretty much anymore. Or they're paying a fee. Think about those fees over a 12-month period and what we can do with those dollars. So this report is actually on the United Way website. There's more information here today, but I just want you to be aware. Each of you will be getting a copy from me. It's about a 50-page document. Last year I gave you one. I hope you'll take the data. It shows a lot of great trends. It also will help me to know how to help the people in your district. If there's something you want to see us do at United Way, we work with about 93 charities every day. If there's something you want to see them do differently, something you'd like to see funded, let us help you develop something that's going to make this a better community. And I think that's really what the Alice report is doing for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lynn, for coming by and presenting this information to us again this year. You and I, we've been talking ever since I received the last year's Alice report about solutions and how we can use that document to be solution driven and find what are the issues here locally within our community and come up with some solutions. And you know, we were at Caddo Council on Aging, Caddo Community Action Agency today, so many acronyms around here. And Mr. Goodry used the term rising tide lifts all boats, and he applied it to the children. But the actual origins of that saying, and I had never heard him, I had never heard it that way, but and he had some very great points with it. But the actual origins of that saying is, it actually is about an economy where folks who are stuck at the bottom, if you lift them up, you lift the economy up. And we've always talked about the wealth gap. We've always talked about income disparity. We've always talked about you know, providing the poor hand up as opposed to hand out. And so hopefully all policymakers from the local to the state to the federal government will take this information that you have provided us, the raw data that you provided us, and come sit down with you to come up with some substantive policy. We can hand out checks every day. I'm sure y'all do it. Next week, the Community Foundation will make their announcement on how many millions of dollars they're going to give out. But if there's no policy to actually change some of the barriers that are out there, and I'm not saying we have to go to the extreme as some folks suggest, but we can't have an economy where the bottom, we got more at the bottom than we do at the top. We got to get back to creating the middle class in America, period. And so, right, and so, you know, government can't solve it alone. So that's why I'm glad you're working with the nonprofits and the private sector to get them engaged in this problem. So thank you, and I know I can speak for myself, and I look forward to being engaged with you on how we can stop going the backwards on this Alice report, and at least try to neutralize some of this at some point, and hopefully start going forward with regard to the Alice report. I see Bowman on the board, or you for the last one or for this?
I think it's for the last one. But since you do,
But
since you did, I can go ahead and say thank you, and thank you for what you do. I really learned a lot, actually more than what I thought I had already known, until when you gave the last Alice report. And so it was very informative how it broke down different things in sections, and so it was an eye-opener to even things in my district. So I just want to thank you. I'm sure it's been beneficial to all the other 11 commissions as well. So thank you for what you do, not just with that, but just day in and day out. And so bless you.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you, Mr. President.
No problem. Thank you. Appreciate it, Lynn. And that ordinance is on the agenda today, Lynn.
Okay, great.
So, all right. Okay, next, Mr. Clerk.
I believe you wanted to,
Yes, but we can go into it and then we'll do it afterwards. So we
Okay.
can have him up and then we'll do the resolution after.
you want to go ahead and bring them up?
Yes.
Now, okay, special resolutions?
No, just under
Under
communications.
communications,
Yeah.
under the report for the
Right.
administrator? Okay.
Okay. President Jackson, good afternoon, commissioners. We have a
afternoon.
special guest today,
You too.
Mr. Dan Snyder. He is from the University Health System, and he is here to introduce himself today. So, Mr. Snyder, would you come forward, please, and tell us who you are and what's your mission in our community? Glad to receive you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hey,
My name is Daniel James Snyder. I'm not quite moved into 360 Corinne Circle 71106, although my wife is there with the moving truck today at this moment,
Yes, sir.
asking where I am. So we're delighted to be in the community and moving into our home. I understand there are a few veterans in the with the supervisors today. I'll apologize if I use any jokes or comments about the Army, being a Navy veteran. I grew up in Chicago. At the age of 17, I enlisted in the U.S. Navy, entered the U.S. Navy Hospital Corps, and ended up serving with the Marines, learning how to be a good friend with the Marine Corps. Ended up back in a large Navy hospital where I was trained to work in the coronary care unit, and then also achieved my undergraduate and graduate degrees in hospital administration and ran hospitals, hospital ships, field hospitals, and worked several years in the Pentagon as a commissioned officer. I left the Navy in 2001, went to Intermountain Healthcare in Salt Lake City, Utah, ran several hospitals for that fine system. I left that system, went to Banner Health in Phoenix, Arizona, where I helped merge the Lutheran and Samaritan systems. Left there, went to Singapore for 6 years and built the largest hospital system in Asia, and that was a wonderful experience. Back to the University of Miami, where we built one of the finest academic health systems in the country, and then did some philanthropic and other work in India for about a year and a half before asking to come to Shreveport to relieve Richard Cassio as the CEO of University Health. Been on the ground for about 9 weeks. It's been the fastest 9 weeks of my life. We intend to be here for many years, and I feel blessed and truly honored to have been asked to assume these duties here in Shreveport and with our hospital in Monroe. I trust everybody got a little 2-page glossy. I won't review that. It just speaks to what we do. I will tell you, though, that as an individual who has run and operated hospitals around the world and some of the finest academic institutions in the United States, I'm just delighted with what I've seen and been exposed to here with University Health. Last weekend, we had 31 level 1 traumas arrive at the large hospital. Level 1 traumas. I have spent a good part of my career watching and assisting with level 1 traumas come off of helicopters, and it is quite a process if you've never seen it. People's lives are literally saved by a team that comes together and accomplishes amazing work. Being a former Navy man, retired Navy captain, the first thing I did when I came in is I said, what's the mission, vision, and values? We refined those just a bit. Our mission, simply stated, is to teach, heal, and discover with our academic partner, LSU, to advance the health and well-being of our community. That's why we exist. And everything we do goes back to that mission. Our vision, simply stated, is to be a nationally recognized academic health center. We should be the top 25th in 5 years. We have a wonderful medical school, a great partner, remarkable care facilities, and people just dedicated like I've never seen before. We have very simple core values: patients first, integrity, compassion, quality, mutual respect, teamwork, and trust. And those guide everything that we do in that hospital every day. Every time I have to make a tough decision, I pull out this badge buddy, look at our values, look at our mission and our vision, and make decisions. We have 5 strategic priorities. Our people. People deliver health care as a team. So my job is to take good care of our people. When I say our people, our staff, our doctors, our volunteers, everybody, to deliver the mission. Quality, which means the highest quality care, consistently delivered in a timely fashion, cost-effective, evidence-based. Service, we treat everybody as though they're our mom, dad, sister, brother. Finance, we are a 501c3 non-for-profit community resource. You, this community, own University Health. It's a community resource of which I have the privilege to shepherd on a day-to-day basis. But I am accountable to a board. That board is accountable to this community to ensure that we deliver on that mission of teaching, healing, and discovery. And then growth, which is meeting the needs of our community in a very, very, very special way as we go forward. I'll prepare to wrap up just by saying to you that having been here shortly, 10 days after I arrived, I was coming back from Baton Rouge. I don't even know if I pronounced that correctly. Having just been in Paris.
Great job.
And I noticed in my right eye I was beginning to not be able to see very well. And so I did my duties in the Capitol. And on the way back, I told my wife to drive a little faster. Wednesday morning, I went into the ophthalmology clinic at the hospital. Saw the best retinal guy there is for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles. And he said, Captain Dan, I don't let him call me Mr. Snyder. He's my dad. He lives in Chicago. He's a World War II vet. He said, call me Dan or Captain Dan if you want. But this lens, which had been implanted in Singapore 8 years ago, was falling backward into the retina. And there's no vitreous fluid to cushion it. So I looked at him, and he called in the cornea guy, another brilliant cornea specialist, and within 20 hours we were in an OR. And a very delicate procedure to extract that cornea. A month later, new lens put in, perfect surgical procedure, perfect follow-up care. Were it not for the fact that we have these brilliant cornea, glaucoma, retinal surgeons, all gathered under that university health system, that medical school, all coming together to concentrate on delivering that care, I would be blind today. So I'm here to tell you that I am a very grateful patient of University Health. Were it not for the remarkable things that happened to me after I had just arrived, I would not be looking at you with my bright, shiny eyes today with this level of clarity. So with that, I'll just conclude by saying I appreciate the opportunity just to come in and have a chance to say good afternoon. I will leave a stack of my business cards here, and if there's ever anything that I can do personally to help with you or a family member or a friend that's accessing care through the University Health system, I'd be delighted to help. Or just walk in the hospital and start yelling Captain Dan, and they'll get to me, and I'll come over. That story is one that, as I do town halls and I do get acquainted with the staff, say, don't call me sir. I appreciate in the South, just like the military, the respect of sir and ma'am. And I appreciate it when you call me sir, but please don't call me Mr. Snyder. That's my dad's name. He's one of the youngest guys to serve as a vet, an Army medic in World War II. I am a retired Navy captain, retired in 2001. Got out, got recalled just in time to go back to the active duty for the next crisis. So having lived in Singapore and worked in India and in other different cultures, it's much easier for folks to refer to me as Captain Dan. So I look forward to getting to know everybody here in Shreveport. Quite literally, I'm going to leave here and take my leave. My wife has a moving truck that has arrived from India full of boxes. On Sunday, the moving truck arrives from Chicago with the rest of the boxes, and we'll get settled in. But it's been my distinct pleasure and honor to just have a chance to say hello this afternoon. Are there any questions that I can answer before I?
Let me just say, I'm your parish commissioner, so have you adopted a dog yet? If not, we can set you up with those guys in the back.
I like to make
Middleton.
Yes, sir. Mike.
My wife, who is, fortunately, I lost my first wife from lung cancer, but my wife Hannah, who I met in Singapore, is half British. Her father's British, mother's Japanese. And she would like a dog in the worst way. So I will be in touch immediately.
Our animal services
Commissioner
director
Miller.
right there.
Oh, very good.
Start pressing your button first.
No one else.
Well,
I got you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules to take up this special proclamation in honor of April being National Minority Health
Second.
Month. Appreciate it. It's moved by the chair, second by the vice chair. Is there any objection to take this up at this period of time? Seeing none, we'll take this up. If you would, please stand while we read the resolution.
Get up there, Miss Baker. What you doing?
In the name and by the authority of the Caddo Parish Commission, whereas Minority Health Month is an inclusive initiative recognizing the unique health needs of African American, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, and other minority populations in order to help local communities eliminate the disproportionate incidence of premature death and preventable illness among these populations. And whereas since 2001, April has been observed across the country as National Minority Health Month. And whereas inequities in health begin before birth as a result of an individual's race, ethnicity, family income, place of residence, and ability to access affordable health care, and lead to unavailable or unnecessary health care, social and economic costs, and reduced lifespan and quality of life. And whereas, despite improvements in health care for minority residents, significant disparities and inequities persist, such as enduring poverty and limited educational attainment. And whereas Louisiana and Caddo Parish is focused on identifying community strategies and actions that increase health opportunities for all people, no matter their race or where they reside in Louisiana. And whereas the Caddo Parish Commission, through its parish health units, hope to raise awareness about efforts across health, education, justice, housing, transportation, and employment sectors to address the social determinants of health. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Caddo Parish Commission does hereby proclaim April 2017 as Minority Health Month in Caddo Parish.
All right.
Mr. Snyder, you may be seated. This week was actually County Health Week at NACO, and so in this month, the state is participating in National Minority Health Disparities Month. I know that University Health, Christus, and David Raines has formed, and as well as the MLK Clinic has formed a partnership to get out into the communities and the churches to address the access issue and increase access. The state has also done a great job. I believe the latest number today was about 418,000 individuals who have been insured under Medicaid expansion. And so we look forward to having University Health as a partner with that. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Hey, Corbin, where was that Army joke at?
It's okay. You're at
Good
home
move.
now. Welcome home.
Hey, man.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Vice President Dominic is
I just
on the
wanted
board.
to say thank y'all for coming, and special thanks out to former Commissioner Lindora Baker. I have to say hello to her.
Hey.
She's always known as the sweetest ex-commissioner that we ever had here in Caddo Parish. She's a very sweet, nice person. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Captain Dan.
Thank you, Captain Dan.
Vice President, who's the current?
The sweetest? Let's go Stormy.
Okay. Yo!
All right.
He put me on the spot.
Shots
All right.
fired.
We're gonna vote on the proclamation.
Yeah, let's vote on the
I
proclamation.
love you.
Vote on the proclamation.
Request your leave to go assist my wife with the
You reporting for duty. All right, that passes 11-0. All right.
Next, we're gonna adopt the regular session minutes from April 6th.
Move to approve.
Second.
Oh, yeah. All right, moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Cawthorn. We'll be ready to vote when the machine's open. There we go.
Mr. Lewis Johnson.
Sorry, sir.
That passes 10-0. Next.
Next, we move to communication committee reports. I have a notice of intent. Notice hereby given to the Caddo Parish Commission of Caddo Parish, Louisiana, plans to consider ordinances to adopt, levy the parish's ad valorem millages for properties within Caddo Parish, and a meeting Thursday, June 8, 2017, at 3:30 p.m. Government Plaza, 505 Travis Street, Shreveport, Louisiana. At this meeting, the parish will consider adoption of its general purpose millages, special purpose millages, debt service millage. The parish will also consider adoption of the values fixed or to be fixed by the Louisiana Tax Commission on all assessments for railways and other public service corporations, and consider setting the assessments of property classified as timberlands.
That's it. I see Commissioner Lynn on the board.
This Saturday in Highland Park, Reform Shreveport will be partnering with both the city of Shreveport and the parish of Caddo to clean the park and to work on erosion control issues. We invite anybody who wants to volunteer to show up with your gloves on and help us all day long. That's
What
it.
time? What time is that?
At 10:30 a.m.
Okay.
Until we're exhausted.
Okay. If you could just, if you want to put it on the calendar, get it to the clerk so he can get it out to everybody.
Thank
Is there anybody else on the board? All right. Yes. Can't read that. But I do want to take an opportunity for, if you have a guest here, to introduce each commissioner to introduce their guest. So if we want to start this way.
Oh, well, thank you. Commissioner Gerald Bowman, and I'm here co-chairing with Commissioner Lynn Cawthorn as we represent a young lady. Her name is Ms. Maya Jones, and she is a student at the lovely city of Byrd High School. Yay! All right. So she's also going to be majoring in biology, and so we've had the opportunity to be shadowed today. We've eaten. She's gotten tours along with the others. So I will now stop talking and allow her to say something about this opportunity and herself. Thank you. Yes. If you want.
Hello, I'm Maya Jones. I'm a senior at CPCRS High School. My plans are to attend Dillard in New Orleans, major in biology so that I can become a dentist. I'm glad that I'm here to share this experience with you guys, and thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this is my neighbor Ronte Thomas. He, like myself, goes to Southwood High School, or at least I went there. And he's graduating next month. He actually got a scholarship in culinary arts, and he'll be attending BIPSI in the fall. Wants to be a chef when he grows up. He was gracious enough to come and visit with us today. Got to handle all the festivities that the other students got to.
Yeah.
You want to say anything? No. Okay. All right. Next.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I guess I'll stand up as one else did. We have with us today Miss Journey Bradford, who's a senior at CPCRS High School also. I have watched this young lady just matriculate through everything that she puts her hands on. I'm so godly proud of her. And if I start naming things that she is involved in, I would be afraid that I would miss something. So we are elated to have you here with us today. We're looking for great things for you in your future. I know know you've enjoyed yourself thus far, and I'll give you the opportunity to speak as well.
Hello, I'm Journey Bradford. I am a senior at C.E. Byrd High School. I will be attending Whittier College in Los Angeles, California, to double major in business and music management. So when I graduate, I can open my own record label because I'm into production and stuff like that. It's been a privilege to shadow everyone here today and to see what y'all like to, well, to see behind the scenes of everybody in the city. So thank you.
Well, we're glad to have all of you young folks here. Thank you so much. Next, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we have President's Report.
Appreciate it, Mr. Clerk. Dr. Wilson, if you could ask for our next meeting, Kent Rogers to come down and kind of update us on the COG. I know they had a big meeting today, and if we could just get our update from them. Also, just wanted to make a statement for everybody watching on TV that early voting is going on this week. Is that correct?
Yes,
Early
sir.
voting this week for the April 29th renewal. So if you know that you may be busy on April 29th, please feel free to get out and come down here to our early vote. Hopefully in the future you won't have to go too far from your house to do your early voting, but you can vote at the registrar voter's office from 9 till 8 or 8 to 9 or 8 to 5.
8 to 5.
8 to 5. So please early vote, and the election is April 29th. We won't have a meeting before then, but I'm not telling anybody how to vote or what way to vote. Just get out and exercise your right to vote. Interfaith meeting tonight at 7 p.m. All who has a desire to be a part of what they talk about the industrial tax exemption. They talk about workforce development. They'll also be talking about a lot of the information that was discussed in the Alice report and addressing food deserts. So that's 7 o'clock at Morning Star Baptist Church.
Yes.
And that's where the pastor, Theron Jackson, is the pastor. So, just want to say again, thank you to the young folks who joined us, to our friend who's headed to California. When you get through, we got a big old studio sitting right there.
Yeah, that's good.
And Ledbetter Heights waiting on you. I
Come
wish I
back
had
home.
the kind of voice, the bass in my voice that you have, or the bravado in the voice that you have, but we wish you all well and get endeavors, and know that you will serve Caddo Parish well and come back and be productive citizens. That concludes my report.
Next, we move to public hearing on ordinances.
I'm sorry. Doc, I sent a note to you and Ms. Creel at the DA's office. Could somebody get us something? Because and it's on the buyback program. So if we could, we may want to look at kind of pushing back a little bit. I think we got some time, but we want to do enough for marketing, but we don't want to interfere with anything. So if y'all could get with us on that, get us a response on that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay, now we'll move to public hearing on ordinances. Ordinance number 5681 of 2017, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the Riverboat Fund and the general fund to appropriate $95,000 for the Safe Summer Youth Program.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5681 of 2017? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5681 of 2017? See no one here to speak.
Next, we close that public hearing. We move to ordinance number 5683 to establish the Dr. E. Edward Jones Housing Trust Fund for providing good quality affordable housing and mixed-use development, to enact Chapter 19 of the Code of Ordinances relative to housing and economic development, to provide for the administration of the fund, including establishment of a Housing Trust Fund Advisory Commission.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5683 of 2017? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5683 of 2017? I see none. That closes that public hearing.
We'll move to ordinance number 5684 to enact Chapter 19 of the Code of Ordinances, housing and economic development relative to establishing programs to provide property for housing development through the use of adjudicated property.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5684 of 2017? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5684 of 2017? I See none.
Next we move to
I'm not sure. I have a card here. Is this what you want to speak on, Brother Flukers? Mr. Flukers? I have a card here for you for adjudicated property. Is this the one you wanted to speak on? Okay, so we're gonna come back to you on it. Okay.
ordinance number 5685 to amend and reenact Chapter 8 entitled Animals and Fowl, the Code of Ordinances.
Yes, is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5685 of 2017? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5685 of 2017? I don't see any.
This time we'll close public hearing on ordinances. We move to public hearing on local assessment ordinances.
Okay, I got you.
Local assessment ordinance 53 of 2017 to reinscribe liens securing special assessments for Mallard Drive, Beech Nut Drive, and White Oak Drive.
I'll declare this public hearing open. Is anybody who wishes to speak in favor of local assessment ordinance number 53 of 2017? Is there anybody present who wishes to speak against local assessment ordinance number 53 of 2017? Seeing none, I'll declare this public hearing closed. Move to the next item, Mr.
Move
Clerk.
to local assessment ordinance number 54 to reinscribe liens securing special assessments for Anglin Street, Ethlin Street, and Pecan Road.
I'll declare this public hearing open. Is anybody wish to speak in favor of local assessment ordinance number 54 of 2017? Is there anybody who wishes to speak against local assessment ordinance number 54 of 2017? I see no one wishing to speak. I declare this public hearing closed. Mr. Clerk, move to the next item,
Next, we
please.
move to local assessment ordinance number 55 to reinscribe liens securing special assessments on Jerry Lane and Barnes Road.
Is there anybody who wishes to speak in favor of local assessment ordinance number 55 of 2017? Is there anybody who wishes to speak against local assessment ordinance number 55 of 2017? I see no one wishing to speak. I declare this public hearing closed. Move to the next item, Mr. Clerk.
That closes all public hearings. We move to ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5681 of 2017, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the Riverboat Fund and General Fund to appropriate $95,000 for the Safe Summer Youth Program.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Lynn, seconded by Commissioner Chavez to approve this ordinance regarding the estimated revenue expenditure for $95,000 for the Safe Summer Youth Program. Have some, Commissioner Atkins is on the board. Commissioner Atkins?
I'd like to make a alternative motion to amend this ordinance to remove the additional summer youth program with the value of $30,000. With the second, I'll provide additional feedback.
I'll second the motion.
All right.
Thank you.
So there's a motion to reduce the amount by $30,000.
Specifically, if I may speak to my motion, specifically regarding the additional summer youth program. We currently have 48 slots for summer employees. This would be an additional 6 to 9, depending on funding on hourly wages. In my mind, 48 is plenty of summer employees. We do not need additional summer employees. I'm all for supporting our youth, but I think that it is not of service to the youth or the community to hire people beyond the needs of what we can do to put them to work in an effective and efficient way. So that's the nature of the amendment. Certainly nothing against the youth of our community.
Then you want to speak on the second, Commissioner Dominic?
I ditto. I agree with Commissioner Atkins.
All right, I see Commissioner Bowman on the board.
Thank you, Mr. President. And my comment and question is really more so towards administration and, yes, Ms. Haley, budget and finance. I concur with my colleague. I don't have a problem reducing and taking this out only if you all say and let us know that if providing this amount that we're proposing here is above and beyond what we need and what we can handle beyond the 48. I mean, if you told us 20 or 30, whatever it is, I just need to know honestly if beyond 48 is too much, and if so, you know, I can make that compromise. But if it's not, and we are able to house, not house, but employ these youth, then I'm going to have to support it. But I am willing to compromise with him if this is the truth that we can't handle beyond the 48, because I don't want people just having stuff and we're not being able to. But I was under the impression that we were able to manage the 48 and the other ones if we're able to get the additional ones. Just correct me if I'm wrong, or educate me, please, sir.
Okay. So that's my opinion on this matter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And however, you know,
It's not-
Ms. Haley can also help too on the financial part, just knowing, because you worked with it as well. You're the main person throughout the whole summer, so whoever can give me the answer.
It is challenging with numbers above 48.
Okay.
But we're here as an administrative staff to support the will of the board. But it is a challenge when you get to this number of finding productive, meaningful jobs, like Commissioner Atkins was saying a few minutes ago. So it is challenging.
Okay.
But if that's what the board desired, we can make it work, you know, as we always do.
Well, I know, but I want us to do things that's practical and not just
Okay,
because.
well, 48 is a sensible number.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I ask. Thank y'all. See, we can do things. Thank you.
That's it. Commissioner Lyndon Johnson.
Thank you. I guess when I was elected, this was the first thing that one of the first programs that I reinstated back was this youth employment program. And initially we started out with 2 students per commissioner, and then we went to 4. I think last year we actually also reached out to some of the other parish agencies to see if they had any summer positions that we could potentially fund with a student. And so I think that we should reach out to those. If 48 is the key number for us, reach out to like the DA's office and the coroner and see if they have any spots available for summer employment. And then we need to try to employ as many of these kids as possible. You got kids that'll be in college, that'll be coming back home, and they're gonna be looking for jobs. You got seniors that'll be graduating, trying to go to college, and will need some funds. So when they go to college, they'll have some that will help them get started, you know, in their next endeavor in life. And I just think that, you know, we sit here, we talk about crime, and we talk about what can we do for crime. This is one thing that you can do that can try to minimize some of that by having these kids work. I'm not saying that all of these will be the ones that will go out and commit a crime, but at the same time, if they can't get a job doing something like this, then they'll end up doing something like a McDonald's, a Burger King, Wendy's, and then that'll bump somebody out who can only get those kind of jobs. So it's a trickle effect. And so if we have the money to do it, why not go ahead and budget it, get it done? We might not get all the kids that we need, but at the same time, have the budget there. So if it's only additional 10,000 that we might use, so be it. But at the same time, we've at least attempted to try to do something to help the youth in Shreveport and Caddo Parish. Thank you.
Commissioner Chavez.
I'll hold my comment for right now.
Okay. Commissioner Lewis Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I very much appreciate Commissioner Atkins and your position, and to give me another perspective for Dr. Wilson to identify it as challenging with the numbers that we have. But I think that I have the same perspective as Commissioner Johnson, in that I think that if a youth is in any working environment, doesn't matter what environment they're in or what they're doing, I think that it would prove to be productive based on the fact that it will give them exposure, the responsibility to get into work and being there on time and learning whatever system or whatever process that they're in. You don't want to just pile them up where they're doing nothing, and I can appreciate that. But I think that if someone who was not working at all and having no income at all has the opportunity to be responsible to come to work somewhere in some setting, working with other professionals, I think that there's unspoken mentorship, unspoken advantages to being in a work setting as opposed to not being in a work setting. So I agree with you and understand your point in that respect, but I think that if there's an opportunity to put a young person in an opportunity where they can work, then if it can be done, even if it's a challenge, I think that I would view it as worthwhile. That's my position.
That's it. Thank you. Commissioner Parliamentarian Copper.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've had afforded the opportunity to have a conversation with Commissioner Atkins as it relates to his concern, and I do I am consistent with his concern as we got 48 slots, we got some additional people, we got someone who's sitting there rolling their thumbs for 8 hours a day. That is obviously not the most productive way of using Caddo Parish's money. But I don't know if we probably don't have the time to implement this stuff, but I see this as an opportunity, and we have to get with our legal department to see can we make this work. If we are at capacity in terms of kids that we can adequately employ within the parish, maybe we can partner with some private businesses. I don't know if there's a prohibition for us being able to provide the salary or et cetera, but I do concur with both Commissioner Johnsons that if there's an opportunity for the spirit of this program is to take kids off the street, put them in something useful and employable, I think that's something that we should employ. Maybe it won't work for this summer. We can look at it going forward. And perhaps in the meantime, we could listen to Commissioner Lyndon Johnson's idea. If we only use 10,000, use 10,000. But I want to be consistent, making sure that the persons that are employed are going to be employed in a position that when they finish this 8-week internship program, there's a skill that they're going to take with them that's going to be useful and productive for them as it relates to continuity of their lives. That's it.
All right, Commissioner Lynn.
Again, with administration and human resources, I concur with Commissioners Johnson and Johnson and Commissioner Lynn Cawthorn in that we have a district attorney's office that we house, the sheriff's department that we house a building for them, all the judges at the district courthouse that we maintain the building, and if not private, all of these other public entities that we work with, from Caddo Council on Aging to the food bank to all these various positions, SciPort, that all of these agencies that we fund, huge numbers. The food bank we give 80-something thousand a year. The Caddo Council on Aging, 80-something thousand a year, and these are all nonprofits. But if we can work with these other agencies and they will work with us, I mean, we work together on other things, we ought to be able to work together on this and have these youth in positions that help grow these young people rather than, sitting in, we don't need to give them the opportunity to sit in front of a computer on Facebook all day long. We need to give them the opportunity to learn something to better themselves.
That's it.
I already have 3 names that I've submitted. I have 1 name that I'm waiting on. The 3 names that I have submitted, I've already met with HR on, and the parents, all 3 of the parents have said that if you catch my child leaning, then that means they have time to be cleaning. And if they're not learning something new, then call us up and we're going to come down there and take care of business. So I would hope that everybody can get into that tune and action and then end up with the results. We had a young man that I was fortunate enough to sponsor a couple of years ago that was not sure if he wanted to be an engineer or not. He was able to study underneath Ken Ward. He has, I think he's a senior now at Louisiana Tech in engineering, and so he was able to fortify his understanding of engineering by having practical application to theory. When you're in school, you're focused on theory. When they're working with Caddo Parish and working with our engineering department, they're getting practical application to where this is what it looks like on paper, and here we are building a bridge, and this is what it looks like in reality. And so we're able to take theory and turn it into practical application, and that is what the parish should be doing with every single student that comes here and is underneath our tutelage. And that should be happening. I beg y'all to work with the DA's office, the courthouse, the sheriff's department, that if we don't have enough jobs where someone can learn under this roof, then we need to look for another roof to educate them.
Preach,
That's
brother,
all.
preach.
All right, Commissioner
I'm so
Gage-Watt.
surprised by
Okay,
you.
thank you. I will not be as lengthy. I just wanted to say that I also agree that this is not a place that we should make any cuts. And as my shadow sits here, she reminds me that due to her job exposure in the summer, employment was how she got permanent employment throughout the year. So we must remember that sometimes this exposure is not just for children who planning on doing anything additional. This may just open the doors to a government agency and to see how things are ran behind the scenes and ignite that fire that they have inside of them to want to become a part of a system like ours. I have one who worked for the last 2 years. He worked in animal control and he learned a lot about government. So guess what he's doing this summer?
Oh, that's right.
And he has a permanent job. He's working for a senator because of his exposure here at this government facility. We must not cut anything that we can do to help our youth today. We need to put every effort forward in making sure that if it's one life that we save, if it's one life that we change, then we've done something. So let's not, if we're gonna make some cuts, let's not make it in that department.
Okay.
And I agree with Commissioner Johnson and the other commissioners who would like to keep the appropriations as they are and reach out to the additional agencies if we cannot house them, Dr. Wilson. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Dr. Wilson, I believe Cheryl is going to.
Did you strike me from the board?
Oh, I think you had one already, right?
Yep, don't I have a
Yeah, but
second?
he got pre-entered on the board.
Right, but I hadn't gone yet.
Okay. As long as I'm back, all right, I'll re-request.
Yeah. No, I don't know how you got. I don't know how you got out of the queue.
Yeah.
But I had to get my first round. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
In Cheryl,
Yes, sir, she
going
is
to the
going
and
to
so
the intern program.
NLEP has a workship they're going to teach next week.
Yes, sir.
It's going to teach folks how to set up effective internship programs.
Get out of here.
I also sent over to legal a couple of weeks ago about the definition of workforce development as a public purpose. I don't know.
You sent it last Friday, Commissioner,
Okay.
and I haven't.
That was last Friday?
That was last Friday.
Okay, I'm
and
sorry.
I haven't had opportunity to.
Okay. But if y'all could, because I kind of think workforce development can go under the public purpose umbrella, and where I'm reaching to is if we can establish, and we've had this discussion before, like the city of Shreveport does with their summer program, is they go out, like Matthew, to those agencies, nonprofit agencies, and they give them, those individuals, some work experience, and it comes under the workforce development umbrella, which I believe will meet our public purpose clause. So if we could do some legal research into that. The other question I wanted to ask, and it may be a legal question, is I heard Commissioner Cawthorn say that if all of the folks are not employed, so if you don't use the entire $30,000, could that money be moved to something else within this program, like the activities or the midnight basketball, or does it strictly stick with summer youth employment?
Well, I think what we extremely do is from time to time when we have additional kids that want to come back for the vacation for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we allow them to come back.
Okay.
So we do use the money later on if we don't use it all during the summer months. So if that money is available, we would bring them back again if they have time to work being out of school.
Okay.
So the money doesn't go to waste.
Right. But I think But I think what I was asking was, could we move, if only 10,000 of the 30 is used, could the other 20 go to something else listed in these three items, like the community recreation activities?
If it's in the ordinance, yes.
Yes.
Is that-
Yes.
We could do a budget amendment.
You'd have to amend
But
it.
we'd have to come back and do another amendment, is what you're saying?
No, because it's within the same department. We would not have to come back to the commission to do that.
I hear somebody saying we got to amend it.
A point of clarification, how could you, it says $30,000 for additional summer youth employment, $30,000. Now, how can you use it for midnight basketball? If you don't use the $30,000, you're not going to use, just say you use $10,000. You can't use that $20,000 for midnight basketball or $20,000 for safe union unless you came back, in my opinion, and amended the ordinance. Am I wrong, Ms. Frazier?
Well, so hold on. Turn this here.
You're correct. What I believe Ms. Barnett is referring to is the fact that they're all going to the Riverboat Fund.
Right.
What you would want to do, if you don't want any restrictions on how it's used, if you finally pass the ordinance, you're going to need to amend it to take off the program-specific parameters.
Okay, well, those answers my questions. I appreciate it. I see Dr. Wilson for the first time.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
I met him.
But I think you spoke on the.
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't speak. I just had a second. I never spoke.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Really?
He said I concur with. He said I
Really?
concur with
Let him
John.
finish.
But go ahead,
Let him
Commissioner
finish.
Dominic. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay. Just a couple questions. So the way the ordinance reads now, we're putting in an additional $30,000 over and above what we have currently. And I think Commissioner Atkins was to remove the $30,000. Is that correct? And how many, if we had the $30,000, how many more employees or how many more youth could we employ?
Six, at $10 an hour, it came to about 6 new
Okay.
employees.
And I'm sorry, I kind of got here late. I was running late. And Commissioner Atkins and I just briefly spoke on that. I just, the problem on that is, I understand what you're saying, or I understand what all you commissioners are saying about youth needing jobs. I mean, I'm for jobs. I think they need jobs, but this has expanded. Once it was 2 employees that we had, it's gone to 4. Now it's being expanded more.
But we have the money to do it.
Look, I'm speaking. So
I'm sorry.
It's all right. But how far is this going to go? I don't think that we can continue to. I don't know if you don't take this wrong. Subsidize or just keep employing the summer youth and just keep expanding it. So I think it's got to be somewhere. It's got to stop, and I think that's enough. I think that what Commissioner Atkins has proposed, we really don't need to spend in another $30,000. I mean, that's $30,000 that's for the cameras. It's for something that we're obligated to do. So I'm going to agree with Commissioner Atkins, but I can tell you that I feel like I'm in the minority. That's probably not going to pass, but that's the way I'm going to vote for it. Hopefully we don't continue to spend the rest of the afternoon talking about this one thing. I think we just need to vote on it or vote against it, whatever you want to do.
All right. Dr. Wilson, did you want to speak still?
Yes, sir. Just for clarification, we did reach out to all agencies that we work with, the DA, the clerk of court, the coroner, the Caddo Community Action Agency, and place kids at all those locations. And register voters, the VYJ. So we, to the extent possible, we utilize all those names.
Right.
And we also provide them professional development training as well while they're here.
Right.
So
It's a good program. Commissioner Milton.
Call for the question.
Second.
Second.
All right, this is on call for the question.
Who's the second?
Myself. Moved by Commissioner Milton, second by myself to call for the question. Please vote on calling for the question.
After the quiz.
All right, that passes 10-1 on call for the question. Please vote on the amendment, and the amendment is to remove the $30,000.
I can't ask what
So this is on the amendment. So
All right, what is it? Is it to remove $30,000 and pass the ordinance?
no, it's just to remove the 30. Just to remove the 30.
Actually, my amendment, Mr. President, was to remove, as I intended it to
Okay.
be, was to remove the 30 and pass the remainder of it as presented here.
That's what I.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I just wanted to be clear.
Still loves the kids.
All right. That fails 4-7.
Okay, now original.
All right, now we're back to the original motion. Please vote to adopt the original motion
As proposed.
as proposed.
Mom, God. Come on, favor.
Passes.
They get it. Let me do it.
That passes 8-3. That passes 8-3. All right, next.
you're not playing fair, man.
Ordinance number 5683 to establish Dr. E. Edward Jones Housing Trust Fund for providing good quality, affordable housing and mixed-use development.
So move for adoption.
Second.
All right, moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Chavez. Are y'all on for the last ones or on for this?
They need to be removed.
That stuff
Okay.
needs to be removed.
All right, please vote. If I'm seeing anyone in the board, please vote. That passes 10-11-0. All right. Next.
Ordinance number 5684 to enact Chapter 19 of the Code of Ordinances of Housing and Economic Development relative to establishing programs to provide property for housing development through the use of adjudicated property.
So move for adoption.
Second.
Moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Chavez. Is there no one in the queue? Please vote. I want to thank Lynn for coming down and speaking on this issue.
I agree.
That passes 11-0.
Ordinance number 5685 to amend and reenact Chapter 8 entitled Animals and Fowl.
I move that we postpone ordinance
Second.
5685, moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Gage Watts. Please vote on postpone. Yeah, well, we'll just postpone to the next meeting, the first meeting in April,
Well,
in May.
Okay, May 4th.
May 4th, yes. All right, that passes 11-0.
Next, we move to local assessment ordinances for final passage. Local assessment ordinance number 53 to reinscribe liens securing special assessment for Mallard, Beechnut, and White Oak tribes.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bowman, second by Commissioner Dominic. Did you want to speak, Commissioner Bowman?
No, sir.
Did you want to speak,
Now,
Commissioner
these
Dominic?
are Commissioner Smith's
Correct.
district, correct?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, we just need to pass these.
Commissioner Lyndon Johnson.
One in Globo and adopt ordinance number 53, 54, 55.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lyndon Johnson, second by Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts to englobo ordinance, englobo and adopt ordinance 53, 54, and 55, local assessment ordinance. If there are no questions, please vote. All right.
Was it Jackson?
Sorry, I got mine pressed, yes. Isn't it?
It looks like to me. Basically.
There it is.
Okay. All right. That passes 11-0. Next.
Next, we move to zoning ordinances for introduction by title. Zoning case P16 in regards to ordinance number 5686, amending zoning of property located on the south side of Southern Loop, 1550 east of East Wallace Lake, from RA Residential Agriculture to B2 Neighborhood Business District for 36.363 acres, and B2E Neighborhood Business Extended Use District limited to a climate control warehouse on 3.697 acres only. Zoning case P717 regards to ordinance number 5687, amending the zoning of property located on the south side of Southern Loop, west of Norris Ferry Road, Caddo Parish, from RA Residential Agriculture District to B2 Neighborhood Business District. Zoning case P817 in regards to ordinance number 5688, amending the zoning of property located on the north side of Ellaby Road, west of Florinor Lucas, from R1D Urban 1 Development Residential District to B1 Buffer Business District with approval to permit a medical facility. Next, we move to ordinances for introduction by title. Ordinance number 5689, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures to capital outlay fund and the health tax fund in the amount of $25,000 to provide an appropriation to purchase additional cameras for the animal shelter. Ordinance number 5690, an ordinance to close and abandon a portion of the dedication for Nicole Drive located in Turner Moore Cove subdivision. This time we need to ratify the work session minutes from Monday.
Moved by Commissioner Matthew Lynn, second by Commissioner Lynn Cawthorn. Please vote on ratifying the minutes from the April 17 work session. That passes 10-0.
Next we move to resolutions. Resolution number 29, supporting Webster Parish Police Jury request to dismantle the burn chamber.
Move to approve.
Second. Moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Bowman. Please vote. I'm sorry, Commissioner Dominic on the board.
Yes, my first question is, I thought Webster Parish rescinded the resolution. So how can we pass a resolution supporting Webster Parish Police Jury's request when they rescinded the resolution? Dr. Wilson, didn't they rescind that resolution?
Yes, sir, they did.
It's in conflict.
They had a meeting after our last meeting. They had a meeting. That's why this was postponed. They had a meeting and they rescinded their resolution.
Okay, that's what I'm getting.
So
clarity.
again, we're getting into something that's not in Caddo Parish. And I don't see how we can support Webster Parish's resolution when they rescinded the resolution. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, folks. Now, if y'all want to vote on that other one that's coming down on 35, resolution number 35, that would be a different matter, and I'll speak on that again, and that's going to be basically the same thing. This is Webster Parish, we're in Caddo Parish, and I guess the other question is, so if we do pass this resolution, where's it going to go? Is it just going to go in thin air, or are we sending it to the legislators, or what? So I say vote no on this one.
Okay, Commissioner Lewis Johnson.
I echo what Commissioner Dominic was saying in that Webster Parish has come back and they rescinded their resolution as relates to it. So there isn't one in that respect for us to vote on if we were to vote in that respect.
Okay, Commissioner Atkins.
Yeah, just to echo Commissioner Dominic, sorry, Doug.
Sorry.
You know, there's no issue for us to vote on, so let's just vote no here. And if you've got an issue on the burn chamber, go to resolution number 35, and we'll discuss it in more detail.
Okay, that's it. Do you want to speak on you? I'm sorry. All right, please vote. Sorry, yeah.
And I'm sorry I had to step out, just the way it's written.
Yeah. That fails 1-9.
Close.
Resolution number 34, 2017, urging and requesting the State of Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development to proceed expeditiously with the Jimmy Davis Bridge project.
Pardon me. Oh, wait.
So move for adoption.
Second.
Moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Dominic to adopt the Jimmy Davis Bridge resolution. Please vote. It's on the Jimmy Davis Bridge. That passes 8-2.
Thanks, guys.
Resolution number 35, opposing the burning of explosive, hazardous, or industrial waste during certain times at Camp Minden.
Move to approve.
Moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Chavez.
And I would like to speak on this.
Yeah.
The fact that we have our youth in front of us today and beside us today, and the fact that we're doing summer programs for them, I would hope that we would anticipate their future lungs and what will be burning. In this chamber, this particular resolution regarding the chamber simply asks that when the wind is blowing from the chamber to Caddo Parish, that they not operate it. Now, the way that the wind blows, fortunately for Caddo Parish, about 90% of the time, the wind blows in the opposite direction. And so this is merely a very light-hearted request for them to save the lungs of our future and the lungs of ourself, that if there is any waste, and there's been several conflicting studies on parts per million. One group in opposition of the chamber says that yes, the parts per million that they are measuring is only in a one-day event where it can be more controlled. And if it were to be measured over the lifetime of the chamber, you would show that more particles would be coming out over the length of the time that it is burned. And so I ask that Never mind the fact that the explosives, the majority of them are going to be traveling from the west of us to the east of us, traveling through Caddo Parish, that have the likelihood to derail or explode within Caddo Parish. To remove that possibility, we passed up that opportunity. However, this one opportunity is that once all those explosive materials have already safely made it through Caddo Parish, and they're burning them at the chamber, when that wind is blowing to us, just simply asking them not to operate the event or not to operate the chamber. That is all.
Commissioner Lewis Johnson.
What about my second?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm not going to address the wind direction thing, Commissioner Lynn, but as a hazmat tech, and as it relates to this particular ordinance, all of those entities that are closely associated with them, including the Bossier Parish Police Jury, they took no position on it. They did not oppose it. They were not against it in that respect. With us being considerably further away, Webster being in the exact same parish did not. So I think that it would probably be something for us to consider as relates to how it affects us. So I'll be voting against it respectfully for that reason, sir.
Thank you. Commissioner Down.
Yeah,
Vice President Down.
Yeah, I don't know where Mr. Settle went, but I think he would have had a field day with that wind blowing. Next thing Commissioner Lynn's gonna say is next time I feel the need to let the wind blow, he's gonna make me move it somewhere else. There he is, Mr. Settle. You're missing out. You walked out at the wrong time.
Which way the wind blows?
That is.
Oh no. It says in here. It says that the Caddo Parish Commission is unaware of any definite study which shows that the burning explosive hazardous or other industrial waste will not result in toxic to their emissions. Have there been a study that shows that it has? I mean, I haven't seen it. Well, we don't have one. I mean, same thing. I get into the same thing that, and I just kind of echo, and I don't want to spend any more time other than what Commissioner Lewis Johnson said. And, you know, Matthew, I love you to death, but I just can't support this. I'm sure some people would like for us to, but I think it's something that belongs in Webster Parish and Minden, and I'm voting no.
All right, Commissioner Atkins.
I think it's all been said. Carry on.
Please vote. You have a quorum after a while. All right, that fails 3-6. Next.
Resolution number 36, proclaiming April as Fair Housing Month.
So move for adoption.
I can do that.
Second.
Moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Gage Watts. Please vote. I'm sorry, Commissioner Chavez, you on the board?
Yeah, I never got to speak on my second and last one. Not to really harp on that stuff because you guys gave your answer, but I just wanted to support Matthew. I get what he's saying about the citizens. There were 2,000 people that were against the chamber, one person that was for it in the Webster Police Jury meeting. So those 2,000 people, I hear them, and I wanted to say, people over here in Caddo Parish do hear your struggle. That was it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That final motion passed 9-0. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So
We've got one more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got special resolution.
Yeah, we've got resolution
Yeah, I'm
number
sorry.
38.
Yeah, I will move that this special resolution 38 be adopted concerning the emergency precinct removal for the.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Middleton. Are there any questions on that?
I got one.
Go ahead. Okay. Go ahead.
Kevin, I guess we will go through the standard procedures to do the best to notify the public. Will we have someone at the old precinct directing people over there?
We'll have a uniformed
To tell people.
fire department and a parish vehicle with signs and directions to get to anybody that may show up there.
I knew you were on top of it. Thank you for staying on top of this, and appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Before we finalize that, Robert Glass, could you, Jake Fluker's back there, could y'all connect? He has some questions about adjudicated property. Could y'all exchange numbers? We've missed the public comment section, but if y'all could exchange, huh?
Do you want to suspend the rules for him?
Do you want to?
Yes.
Let's
Is there a
vote.
motion to
So
suspend?
Oh,
Second.
we need to vote on this
Hold on,
resolution.
let's vote on the resolution first, and then.
Oh, I had one thing to say about the change of
Okay.
polling location.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask Crystal to update it on the website also, on the
Okay.
Caddo website.
Okay.
Thank you.
You
Appreciate
put
it.
it on the website? Thank you.
Good idea.
Thank you, Stormy.
All right. Vote on the resolution. That passes 9-0. All right. Is there a motion to?
So moved.
Second.
Suspend the
By
rules.
Commissioner Gage Watts moves to
Second.
suspend the agenda, second by Commissioner Matthew Lynn to go back up to public comment section, citizens comments. Jake Flukers, please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and
I'm Jake Lucas, 741 Cambridge Place, Newport. My commissioner is my friend Eddie Chavez, son, Mario.
I don't know his name.
Eddie.
That's my dad.
I was,
That's Mr. Chavez.
Yeah.
yeah,
The real Mr. Chavez.
I had a chance to go to the adjudicated property meeting they had yesterday in Southern Hill, and I was told that once you buy a property through the adjudicated, that the commissioner keeps the mineral right.
Yeah. But we can't answer questions at this point, so if you had anything, you just.
Oh, so I'm just here just to.
But what we can do is we can direct you to get with administration, which
No,
was
no,
the
when
process.
is the next meeting?
Our next commission meeting?
Yeah.
Our next commission meeting is May 4th.
All right, I'll be here and I'll be on time. Thank
No,
you.
no, no, but what I'm saying is if you have questions, you may be quicker
Yes.
getting with the administration.
Yes, so we can answer
And-
questions for you, so if you like.
And they can work through it and we can get together.
But you,
You
but
can
if you
still
wanted to, you
talk.
can still
Yeah, you can
convey
still-
your concerns
right.
to the commission. We
Right.
just can't respond.
Right.
You follow me?
I don't know how to respond if it's not true that you,
We're just listening here now.
all right.
We-
My concern is that, you buy adjudicated property and some people buy it and they plan on making a home out of it. And they were being told that they are not receiving the mineral right, and I wanted to know, why not? And I was told that, they had a little thing in South Louisiana saying that the meek were gonna inherit the earth, but they will not have the mineral right. But I didn't know that the Caddo commissioner would be the one to get the mineral right. That's all I have to say for right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Wilson, if you will, get with them and organize. There are motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Gage Watts to adjourn, second by Commissioner Lynn Carton. I'm sorry, I apologize. We're not
You did
adjourned
send
yet.
that email on the 7th.
On the 7th.
The one you were referencing earlier.
Okay.
Glad you got that.
All right, meeting adjourned.
See y'all later.